So yes, Akhil Kumar, just switch on your mic. Yes, Akhil.
Sir, I am Akhil and I am from Bangalore
Yes.
and I wanted to learn C++, sir. That's why I joined the program.
Okay, but why you want to learn the C++? What is the motto behind it?
Sir, it helps in future, sir. Like I can get a better job and then
Yeah,
I can
for
fill up my resume.
yes. For career perspective, actually, you have joined this program. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And from which year you are studying currently?
I finished my second year, sir.
Second year. So you are in third year right now.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And your branch?
Electronics and communication.
Electronics and communication. Okay. Welcome, Akhil Kumar. And
Thank you,
within
sir.
that 15 days, actually, you will be expert in a C++. If you follow my steps to learn, then you will be expert. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
So thank you, Akhil Kumar. The next one is Akhilesh. Just Akhilesh.
Hello. Yes, sir.
Yes. Do you have the camera?
Yeah.
Do you have camera? Just
Hi, sir.
to see you. Yeah.
Yeah. Good evening. My name is Akhilesh.
Yes.
I'm from Bangalore,
Yeah.
and I'm joining C++ for career perspective, and want to improve my basics in C++.
Yes. And you are in third year. Yes.
Everybody over here is going to third year, sir.
Yeah. Everybody is third year. Okay. No one is from first year to second year.
No.
Okay. So all batches from the third year. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Next. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next one is Ashok. Ashok K. Ashok Kumar.
So Ashok sir is placement trainee, sir.
Yeah. Okay. The now next one is Challa Kundana Reddy. Actually, I'm Maharashtrian. I'm a bit about confused. Actually, that your name. Okay, so that's why if I'm mistaken, then correct me. Yeah. Yeah. Challa Kundana Reddy. Yes. I need to see your or you can actually all of you can on your video. And next Chandra Mohan.
Hi, sir. I'm Chandra Mohan, sir. I'm from Andhra Pradesh. Currently, I have completed my second year, sir, going to third year.
Yes. And why you want to learn? You are in C or C++ batch?
Sir, C++, sir.
Okay, so and why you want to learn C++?
Sir, I'm very much excited to learn programming languages, sir.
Yeah.
So currently, I have learned basics of Java and C.
Yes.
So I'm excited to learn C++ also.
Okay. So you should know that what is the content in your C++. You know the Java as well as, okay?
Yes, sir. Basics I know, sir.
Basics, you know. Okay, so no problem. Okay, so we'll move towards the next one. I think M. Dipti.
Good evening, sir. My name is Deepthi.
Yes.
And I'm doing my third year engineering in electronics and communication.
Yes.
So as we know, coding is very important when it comes to placement.
Yeah.
And like we need to know coding skills. So I'm interested in learning C language.
Yes, yes, yes. And you are in C batch, okay?
Yeah.
Yes, okay, no problem. Yeah. So welcome, Dipti.
Thank you, sir.
Next one is Nikita. Nikita MS. I think there is two Nikitas are there. Nikita MS and the next one is Nikita Nagraj. So first I will call the Nikita MS. Yes, Nikita. Nikita Nagraj.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, good evening.
My name is Nikita Nagraj.
Yes,
Currently third year engineering in electronics and communication.
yes, yes.
So why I want to learn, I'm from Bangalore itself. See, I'm just starting to learn. So I thought basics of C would be better to learn, even C++ and Python later. So I'm just starting with basics of C right
Basics
now.
of C
Second time we had C already, but not in like
detail.
complete. So yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. So you want to learn the advanced C language, yeah?
Yeah.
Basics as well as the advanced C language.
Continue with C++ and Python also.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, thank you. And welcome, Nikita, in our hub. The next one is Pramod. Pramod, are you there? Yes. Okay, so meanwhile, actually, while the Pramod is on, I will share you one poll. Okay, I will share you one poll. It is a quick poll. So the question I think will be shown on your screen now. The question is, why did you want to learn the C or C++? And there is a multiple choice question is there. So meanwhile, actually, Pramod is answering its introduction. You can answer this poll. The remaining can answer it. Yes, Pramod. Yeah, sure. Yes. Okay. So yes. Saurav Sri Kumar. So
Hello.
actually, yes.
Good evening, sir.
Yes.
I'm Saurabh. I'm studying electronic communication.
Pardon?
I'm studying third year, sir.
Yes.
Electronic communication.
Yes.
And I
Yes.
took C++.
Yeah. Okay.
I wanted to learn C++ because I like it, and I want to do something.
Yes. 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 You want to become a software engineer, yeah?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. And you will be.
Thank
you. Yeah. Okay, so the poll result, the 2 is not answering. Yeah, actually 1 and the sir. Okay, so 2 is not answering. Yeah. I will share you that poll result, and you can see here. Here, the most of the peoples are joined this because of the career perspective. Okay, so if you want to make your career in the software industry as well as the electronic industry as well as, okay, electronics also require the knowledge of C and C++ in a deep. So that's why both branches, if you want to make a career in both branches, actually the knowledge of C and C++ is very much important. And that is, I think, that's why you have decided to learn the career perspective. Okay, you have decided to select that career perspective as an option. Okay, the 8 of peoples out of 14 has selected, and 3 again have again selected as an area of interest. Yes, it should be your area of interest. Without interest, you can't directly learn the C and C++. Because actually until now, I have taught more than 10,000 students, more than 10,000. And there are some students are also there in my community. Actually, they wanted to learn and C and C++ as well as Java or Python. But why actually they join my class? Because his or her friend has joined my class, and he or her area of interest is not in the software field. So only because of his or her friend had joined the class or batch, he has joined. So that's why they failed. They are not able to complete the whole course here. Okay, so that's why area of interest is also required, not only because of actually you want to earn your money, you want to earn money from the software industry, because software industry will give you the lot of the salary here. But for get into that software industry, actually that area of interest also played a very vital role here. Okay, so that's why you should have first interest in learning in C and C++. And again, obviously, if you have selected the career perspective, it should be the to get place in a reputed company. Okay, so in a career perspective, there are actually 2 ways. After the career perspective selection, there are 2 ways. First one is I want to place in one of the reputed company, and the second one is I want to start my business. Okay, so if you want to also start your business, you should know some basics of the language. You should know basics of language. Actually, you can hire some people who know the better languages, but out of that, if you want to enter into the software industry, you should have the knowledge of the softwares, how that software get can be actually developed. That knowledge you should know. So that's why to get place into the reputed company, this option I have mentioned here. Okay, so 7 of 14 wants to get place in the reputed company, but what about the remaining 7? The remaining 7 wants to start their business. Is it so? Just type, if you want to start your business, just type me. If you want to start the business, your business, the business in terms of your any electronic industry or the software industry. So how many of you want to start your own industry? If you want to start your own industry, just type me. Yeah, no one wants to start. You should start. You can start actually. You can start your own industry. But here, the main thing that you require to start industry is the experience. So experience matters here. So I give you one suggestion. If you want to get into the business, first do 2 or 3 years your job in one of the somewhat reputed company, and then after that, if you have the experience, then you can start your business. Okay, so this is the thing that I want to share with you. Actually, the remaining introduction we will take in a separate batch. So let me start. So let me start the C language introduction. Okay, so as you know that actually, what is the C language and what is the need of the C language and why there is a C language? Why C language comes into the picture? And actually C language was invented in 1972. Okay, so but in 2020 also, we are learning C language. So what actually this C language having such a powerful? Anyone can able to share me? why we are learning C language in 2020 itself, because actually it is invented in 1970s. So this 50 years has ago, this C language has been invented, but after the 50 years also we are learning the same language. So can anybody tell me? Sorry. Can anybody tell me? Can anybody wants to share with me? Okay, so this should be some interactive session. That's why I have selected the meeting. I can also select the webinar, but webinar is only one end delivery only. I will only tell you and you will only able to listen here. So why I have selected this webinar as a meeting here, because you can also share your views here. Because if you are not able to talk right now, then how you are able to talk in front of the employer? Okay, so just tell me. Or instead of this, you can use the chat window also. Or any of you wants to share their views why there is a C language until after the 50 years also we are learning the C language. The Sharanya says, because it is the basic language one should follow to learn other language. Yeah, it is a basic language, but I'm not sure, because Python is the language. To know the Python language, actually you should, it is not compulsory that you should know the C language. You can learn the Python directly. C language makes coding easier. Okay, Nikita Nagaraj says C language makes coding easier compared to other language. No, it is a myth actually, Nikita. The most easiest language on the earth right now is I think Python, the most easiest language.
So it reduces the gap between the basic languages and high languages.
Yeah, so that's I want to share with you why there is a C language we are learning here. Because actually when the C language was invented, you know what is the need? Why C language was invented? Because before the C language, there is a language known as an assembly language. Okay. So assembly language, we know that how that assembly language now works. Just like move A comma B. Okay, this is the one of the command in your assembly language. The content of the B get move into the register A. This is the meaning of it. And if you want to write your program in your assembly language, actually, if you are writing your logic, then it is not understood your logic easily by the others. So there is one need here. There is one need here. That language should be easier. That language should be easier. In 1970, this is the need. That language should be easier. And there should be one code should be we can write here, which can be we can reuse here, and that is nothing but a procedure in your assembly language. But the procedure, we know that the drawback of the procedure is we can't pass some argument, we can't pass some inputs to your procedure. We can pass it in assembly language, but there is an indirect way to pass the argument to the procedure. But in C language, actually, we can able to make a function such that we can pass whatever the input, and your function will process that input, and according to that process, we will get output. So C language, using the C language, we can able to write the easier program. We can able to write the program which is understood by the others. If you have written the program, that same program, if I am giving to the other programmer, the other programmer can easily interpret that whatever the logic that you have written. And the same function, I can again reuse it. If you make the library of your function, then and if you are including in your standard library, then the same function I can use for the again and again. So it will reduce my code here. So C language is a procedure oriented language and C++ is an object oriented language. So according to the need, actually C++ is a superset language of your C language. There are some things that we cannot represent in C language, or it is very difficult to represent in the C language, just like student. If you want to store something in your C language, something means I'm talking about the object. In our real life, actually, if you are thinking about one of the object, that object is having its characteristics as well as some attributes also that object is having. And in a procedure oriented language, we cannot able to write these attributes and the characteristics in a whole, in a one bunch. So just take an example of structure. If you have studied the C language, in a structure, actually the structure can only contain the attributes. The structure can only contain the attribute, but whatever the function related to that attributes or whatever we want to do with that attributes, we can't include into the structure. We have to actually place that function outside it. So we cannot relate, and the relation between that function and the structure we have to remember. That's why there is a need of the object oriented language, and there is C++ language was invented. So that when you have the difficulty in one language, the new language came. But after C language, C++ came. After C++, the Python came. After Python, there is a Java language also came. But here we are learning the C language. Why? Because the C language is it is a middle level language. Middle level means using the C language, we can directly interact with your hardware. You can directly interact with the memory. Though that we cannot do with your high level language like your Java and the Python. The C++ also having that concept, but if you want to implement your program in a C++, you should use the object oriented concept. C++ support the C functions as well as it supports the object oriented concept also. But the C++ program should be the object oriented only. So why C language? Because using the C language, we can access the hardware. So that's why for electronics engineer, it is very useful language. It is the language that we should learn, because electronics engineer are dealing with the hardware. How to read, how to write into the memory, how to read from the memory, that we should know, and that we can able to learn only using the C language. Suppose if there is a number 10 if you want to write into your memory, so how that 10 will be written into the memory, you should know. Your electronics engineer, it should know. If you are storing the small a, then how that small a will be get stored? If you are comparing the two variables, then actually what is the arithmetic and logical operation that is being carried out for the comparison, that you should know. So that's why for electronics engineer, it is necessary to learn the C language. For computer engineer, the computer engineer can skip the C language and directly they can move towards the high level language, because they are mostly into the development, software development, and they don't have to deal with the hardware. That software can run on a different hardwares. But just take an example of our hardware, just like your one of the microcontroller. Take one of the famous microcontroller as a 8051. So if you want to make a program of your 8051 microcontroller, then first you need to study its hardware structure, this memory, how that memory get available in your 8051, and according to that memory actually you are writing your C language. Now that is, if you want to store one of the string, then to store that one of the string you require the consecutive memory location, and that consecutive memory location will be stored in your stack memory. So do you have the enough stack memory to store that consecutive memory location? That you need to first look out. So that's why to learn this, all the basic concepts, C language is a very great source. So learning the C language is nothing but only writing the program. If you are writing the program, if you are executing the program, then you cannot say that you know the C language. You can say that I know the C language only because if you are able to interpret that what is being actually happened in a background. We can take here one of the example here. For example, int a is equal to 10. If I'm writing int a is equal to 10, actually what is being happened in a background you should know. What is the memory location of that a you should know. Is it stack memory? Is it your data storage? Or is it the heap kind of the memory? So that you should know if you are an electronics engineer. Okay, and that we are going to learn in our next days. And if I'm talking about the C++, if you want to learn the C++, and if you have the knowledge of C language thoroughly, then you can easily learn the C++, because C++ is a superset of your C language. C++ is not a pure object-oriented language. Why? Because there is a main function still exists in C++, and main is a function. So in a C language, actually, your program start with main function. C++ also start your program with the main function. So there is no such a difference between C and C++, but some advancement is being added in that C. So that's why the name has been given as C++. So that is something is being added in C language, and that language become a C++ language. But take an example of Java. In a Java, actually main function, if you want to write a main function, we should write the main function in one of the class. So whatever, if you want to print only hello world, you should write your own class, and in that class you should include your main function. So we can say that here Java is a pure object oriented language. So everything that you want to execute, that you should include in the class itself. There is no procedure without class is allowed in Java. So it is a pure object oriented language. Python is also the pure object oriented language, because everything that we are going to use there, it is an object. Everything there is an object. But the difference between the Java and Python, you know that if you want to run the Java code, you should first compile and then you can run. But in Python, it uses the interpreter. It doesn't use the compiler that your C, C++, and Java uses. The interpreter will compile your program line by line. The first line get compiled, then it get executes. Then second line get compiled, then it get executes. So it is a job of your interpreter. So if you have the error in the fifth line, the fourth line gets successfully executed and you will get an error on fifth line. But in the case of C and C++ and Java, if you have error in fifth line, your program not even compile itself. You should remove the error. Your program should be error free. Then only you can able to execute your program of C, C++, and Java. So got it? Why actually we are learning C language and C++? Because the C language Using the C language, we can access the memory, we can access the hardware, and by using that hardware access, we can do whatever with the hardware. Just like, for example, router. Have you ever heard the word Cisco router, or even router only, or any network devices? If you want to do a program of your any network devices, actually you should know, you should prefer the C language itself, because there is hardware is there. Any embedded device, just take an example of any embedded device. If you want to learn, if you want to implement something, you should have the, you should implement your logic very easily in a C language, because it is having the hardware access with it. Just socket programming. If one program, if one computer wants to communicate with the other computer, so using the socket programming, we can communicate between the two computers. So using Java language also we can do socket programming, but here you can easily understood actually whatever being happened in a background when there is a mass, you are sending a message. So that is in your advanced C language. If possible, we can also take that socket programming also. So any doubt until? Any doubt? If you have any doubt or question, you can type in your chat window. I will answer it. Okay, so no doubt. So should I move forward? Should I move forward? Yes. Just type yes in your chat window.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes. Okay. So very first thing, tell me which you just type it. Which compiler you have used until for C language? I'm talking about C language. Which compiler you have used? Just type in your chat window which compiler you have used for C language. Your response should be very quick. Turbo C, yes. Turbo C, yes. Devika, Ashwan, Pramod, yes. Turbo C. Same thing, yes. So all of you have used Turbo C. None of you have used GCC. Anyone of you have used GCC? GCC? No? So for whole training, actually, we are going to use here the GCC. And what is GCC? Where I will tell you. But before that, to learn your C and C++, I always prefer that don't use Windows operating system to learn C and C++. Don't use Windows operating system. You can use, but actually I will always prefer, because in your CDAC itself, they have mentioned that the basic language should be learned only from the Linux operating system. So that's why if you have your laptop or your computer, then firstly download the Ubuntu operating system from their website ubuntu.org, and just make a bootable copy of the pen drive and install, or make your operating system and make your laptop as a dual operating system laptop. Or instead of this, you can use the VirtualBox to get install your Linux virtually. Okay, so no VirtualBox, anyone know VirtualBox, how to use VirtualBox, or I will share you how to install the Linux operating system on the VirtualBox. Okay, if you don't want to make it is a dual operating system computer. Okay, so I will prefer the GCC. The long form of GCC is, anyone know GCC? It is a GNU C compiler. It is GNU C compiler. GNU C compiler, GNU-C compiler, GCC. In the long form of GNU, we know that GNU, not Unix. The long form of the GNU is the GNU, not Unix. Actually, it is a recursive word. Again, the long form of its GNU is GNU, not Unix. It is a recursive word. It is not a Unix, but it is a GNU. So that we are going to use GNU. When you are actually installing the Ubuntu operating system, the GCC is being ready-madely available in that Ubuntu operating system. But if there is GCC is not available, then how to check it? I will share you with one of the demo. So I will share you one terminal window here. So when you open a terminal, actually, this is my MacBook, and MacBook also support the GCC. So that's why there's a MacBook terminal. So how to know that my GCC is present in my computer or not? Just type GCC here and just press enter. When you get this type of the message, that is C language error, CLang error, no input files, it means that GCC has been successfully installed. Or instead of this, I think there is a command named as GCC -- version. Okay, so you can have the which version of the GCC is being available. So I think it is a 11.000. Okay, so I have my GCC. If you not have the GCC, just go to the YouTube. Just type there how to install GCC in your terminal. Your Ubuntu is already having the GCC. So firstly, 2 or 3 days actually we are doing all the program in the terminal itself. Then after that, so we'll move forwards to one of the IDE. Using the IDE is very easy, just like your Turbo C. But you should know that how to do a program in a command line itself. How to execute your command, how to execute your program, how to compile your program, you should know. Because if you are an electronics engineer, suppose your hardware is present in the very remote area. Suppose in the Russia, there is a hardware and you need to program it, or you need to modify the program. Hardware is present in Russia. So what you are doing, you are remotely logging into that hardware, and after remotely login, actually you should try to modify your program. If you are trying to modify the program, then there is no IDEs present, just like your Turbo C. Turbo C is not present at there. So what is present? Only terminal is present. So terminal will provide all the facility. It will provide the editor, as well as it will provide the compiler. Using the editor, you can also run your program. So all the facility your terminal is having. Okay, so very first one is how to create here the folder here, because I'm creating the folder because I'm going to store all the program in that folder only. Okay, so where I am in user Ganesh. Okay, I'm in user Ganesh. So pwd is the command which is used to print the working directory, and then after that I want to make a folder. I want to make a folder here in Ganesh. I want to make a folder. So how to make a folder? Anyone know what is the command to make a folder? Just type, if you know the command, just type it. Or if you don't know, just type don't know. Just reply me fast. Yes, no, yes, yes, Anil, Akhil. Yes, no, sir, don't know, yes. So this is a very important session for you, I think, because you should also learn your basics of the Linux as well as. Okay, so before starting it, I will just give you some introduction to Linux, because in 2 or 3 days, actually, you are going to perform all these practicals in a terminal itself. Okay, so you should know this command. So if you have the pen and paper or notebook with you, just type this or just write this command, and in front of that command, just explanation. That is pwd print working directory. It print the working directory. There is one command name as ls. Okay, just write down that name. command name as a ls. So using the ls, actually we can list out all the files and folders present in my working directory. So ls means list. Ls represent list. Ls list. List all the files and folders present in the working directory. Actually, folder is the term which is used in your Windows. In the Linux, the folder is named as a directory. So directory and the folder is synonyms here. Okay, there is one more command is ls-l. So using the ls-l, actually we can list out the directory as well as you can list out all the properties of that files as well as the folder. So if the first letter of this property is the D, it represents it is not a file, it is a directory. So this desktop is not file, it is a directory. So first is represent files and or the directory. Though here D is absent, so you can say that this hello.class is the file. Hello.java is the file, but here this D is there, so that's why library is the directory. Now the next one is RWX. So anyone know what is this RWX? R represent read, W represent write, X represent execute. So these are the permissions given to that particular file or folder. So it is a permission given. So permission is RWX. R means read permission is also given, write permission is also given, X permission is also given. Suppose there is one folder, suppose the document folders. If I remove here the W permission, then you cannot add something into the document folder. It is make as a read only. It is only the read only. Just like hello here, hello.class here, RW permission is there, but X is absent here. It means that you cannot execute this file. You cannot execute this file. Okay. So this RWA, and these are the actually RWX, the one for the user, second I think for the group permissions, and third one is also I think for the network permission. Okay, so just and the next one is who have created this file or folder. The Ganesh has created, this Ganesh user has created, and the staff is the owner. Actually staff is the root of this computer. Again, the next one is your size. What is the size of this? Suppose hello.class, it is the 470 bytes. The next one is the when this file has been created, November 5, 2019, this file has been created. And the next one is name of the file. The clear is the command to clear this screen. Clear is the command to clear the screen. ls-a, this is the one command actually to see the hidden folders and the files. There is one command ls-a in which actually this dot, if there is a folder or the file and in front of that file name or the folder name, if you are putting dot here, that file or folder become the hidden folder in the Linux. Okay, so to see the hidden folder, actually we can use the ls-a command. Okay, now next command is to make a directory. Okay, how to make a directory? So that we are dealing with here. mkdir is the command. Mkdir. You can note down here mkdir. Using the mkdir, the long form of mkdir is make a directory. Mkdir, and then after that the name of the directory that you want to create. Suppose I want to create the name of the directory as a clang. Okay, clang _ practice. Okay, so this is the folder I want to create. So just I'm typing the command mkdir space clang _ practice. Just press enter, nothing will be happen, but in a background this folder has been created. So how to check that your C language? Yes, you can see here clang practice, the folder has been created, or instead of this you can just put ls minus l, and you can search here on the clang. Yes, clang practice. Okay, so your folder has been created, that is your directory has been created. You can see here it is a directory and it is created in 13 July and this is the time. Okay, so this is the command used to create the directory. Okay, so have you noted it? Is it interesting? If it is interesting, just type interesting. You want to know the more commands. Now you have created the folder. Yes, you have created the folder, but you are not in the folder. So how to print the working directory? Yes, there is a command name as a pwd. So by using the pwd, you can see that here I am in the directory of /user/Ganesh. So there is a folder name as a users. In that folder, there is a folder, again, one folder is there, the Ganesh. And in that folder, I'm working now. But I want to store whole my program into the clang_practice. So I need to change the directory. I need to change the working directory. So how to change the working directory? So there is a command name as a cd space clang_practice. Okay. So my command is cd space clang_practice. So if you are doing this command cd space clang, and if the clang_practice, this folder is present, you can see here now the prompt changes from this to this. So you can see here I'm in the clang practice. I'm in a clang practice. You can check out with the pwd. In a pwd, see that my current working directory is clang_practice. So whatever program I'm doing here, that is being stored into this folder itself or the directory itself. Got it? If I want to get out of this directory, then there is a command name as cd ... The name is cd ... Represent in a your Linux actually. ... represent the previous directory. Okay, so you can note down here in Linux, ... without space, ... represent previous directory, ... represent current directory. Represent current directory. So if I'm only using ... then there is nothing will be happen. Print working directory is same, because I'm giving the command as change working directory to current directory. So it is already in the current directory. So nothing will be happen. But if I'm doing cd ... then just check it out what is happened here. You will now get out of that clang_practice, one step upper. Okay. So you are in a clang_practice, but if you're doing cd ... cd space ... then you are at the Ganesh folder now. If you want to again go to the clang_, just type cd space clang_practice. For clear, again clear it. Got it? So everyone clear? Everyone clear? Just type super clear if you are clear all this command that we have mentioned here. The remaining commands I will explain you when it is needed. It is super clear? Yes? You need to remember this all the commands. Yes? Okay. So the next command is the nano command, nano. Okay. So nano is the one of the editor that we are going to use to type our program. So what we are doing here, nano space, and then after that your file name. So file name, suppose I want to do as a hello.c. So what I'm doing, nano space hello.c. So it means that what is the meaning of this instruction? I want to launch one editor. The name of the editor is nano. And this is the command line argument given to that nano editor, nano space hello.c. So it means that the editor will having the one input that whatever I'm giving the content in that editor, it is get stored into the hello.c. Okay. So nano space hello.c. When you press enter, now you leave that terminal and there is one editor window, it being appeared in front of you. You can see here GNU Nano 2.0.6. This is my Nano version. File name, yeah, mentioned hello.c. And there is one commands are there, different command. Get help, exit, write out, justify. Write out means save, justify, read file, where is. Okay, out of which I only use the Control X. This upper character or upper symbol is known as a control X. This is the Control O for save, Control X for exit. So just I am using these two commands. So first thing is I will write down one program here. We know that what is C language program. What is the first C language program? It has always been a hello world program. What is the meaning of each and every word of this program? I will explain you in the upcoming session. But until now, actually in today's session, I will going to demonstrate you how to write the program and how to execute it. Okay, so hash include and my header file is stdio.h. And then the main function I want to write. So that is a int main. When you are writing the int main, it means that your main function is returning an integer to the operating system. So you should return one number. You should return one integer number to the operating system. Generally, the 0 represent the normal termination, -1 represent the abnormal termination, or other than 0 represent the abnormal termination. So when my program successfully terminated, your operating system will get a 0 from your program, and you can check the return value of your program also. If your return value is 0, then you can say that my program is successfully executed. So the next one is my command, you know, that printf and hello world and /n. Okay, so this is my printf statement. So my program has been done. Now I want to store it. I want to save it. So we know that command Control O is the command. File name to write hello.c, yes, and press enter, or simply press Control X, enter and Y. Suppose if I'm doing something here, if I'm modifying it, and if I'm pressing here Control X, so it will say that it will ask you save modified buffer. Have you modified program? Yes, I have modified. I have inserted the 2 character and deleted it. So buffer has been modified. So I want to save it. Yes, I want to save. Just type yes, Y. Just type Y here, Y. And file name to write hello.c. Yes, in the same file I want to write. So just press enter. So when you press that enter, you will get out of the editor. So it means that hello.c file has been successfully saved here. So how to check that hello.c has been successfully saved? So you can use the one command name as a cat. Okay, there is a name as a cat. So just use this command as a cat hello.c. When you press enter, your program, whatever the content of the hello.c will get actually printed in your terminal. So this is some commands actually that we generally use while doing a programming, but not compulsory. When you want to make sure that your program has been successfully saved, just use your cat hello.c, or even you can again go back to the hello.c by again typing the nano space hello.c. The same file will be opened here. Same file you can just modify here. You can modify. Suppose I'm modifying here from New Horizon College and /n. Okay, just I'm pressing again Control X, Y and enter. Okay, so we'll get out of that editor, and just I'm again checking the hello.c. The content get modified as a from Horizon College. Okay, so is it clear now how to make a file, how to write your program, and how to edit your program? Are you clear? Everyone clear? Yes? Yes? Everyone cleared? Okay. So now next one is, suppose if it is a C language program, just use GCC. So next one is for compilation, how to compile your program. Next one is how to compile the program. So for compilation, actually you need to use the compiler name as a GCC. So just use GCC. And now which file you want to compile here. You can see here only one file is present, hello.c. So just type GCC hello.c. So when you're doing GCC space hello.c, it means that you are executing your program GCC. GCC is a compiler written in a C language itself. Hello.c is the one of the input file to the GCC. What the GCC will be do? It will read line by line of your hello.c. It will generate the tokens, and if the tokens are correct, if your program is syntaxically correct, then your object file get created. So we will check that is there any error in our file or not. If there is an error, it will show the error. So just I am entering here GCC space hello.c. There is no error present in my program. Meaningfully, suppose if I'm doing some error, suppose here I'm doing one error, I'm moving here one semicolon here, and just I'm again doing GCC, it will generate an error. One error is generated, and at this point there is an error. So here semicolon missing. So what you need to do, again you need to go here, just place semicolon and just get out of this. And again you need to recompile it. When you again recompile it, actually what happened? There is no error here because you have removed the error. Now you can see here, if I'm doing here one more time ls, one new file has been created. And what is the name of that file? The name of the file is a.out. If I'm checking here the permission, then the permission you can see here, a.out file is having the executable permission. It is having executable permission. It means that a.out file I can run. A.out file I can run directly. It can execute directly. So what is a.out file? It is an object file that is being created using the file hello.c. Okay, so it is an object file. So how to run it? Next one is to run this object file. How to run it? Just type here /. What you need to type here /, and then a.out. When you're typing /a.out, and when you're pressing the enter, just check it out here. What is happened? Our first printf is hello world. Second printf is from New Horizon College. So it means that here, whatever that we have instructed to the computer, that has been executed successfully. So my program is being successfully executed. Okay, so which command is important here to remember? First one is nano, second one is GCC, okay, and third one is this /, and whatever the object name is there. Now your question should be such that, sir, why there is a name as a.out? Why not other? If you are compiling using the default, if you are compiling using the GCC hello.c, the default a.out file is created. So it means that you have not giving the name of the object file. If you are not giving the name of the object file, then by default it is taking as a.out. By default it is taking as a.out. But if you want to make it, if you want to give your object name by yourself, then you can also do this. For example, I want to compile the hello.c, but my output object file should have the name as a hello. So my command should be GCC minus O, it is not 0, it is minus O represent, I am giving the object file name. The next one is the object file name of the object file. You can give here any file, XYZ, ABC, any file name you can give here. And then after that, the name of the file that you want to compile. So hello.c you want to compile. So GCC minus O hello.c. If you are again doing ls, you can see here, there are the two object files, a.out, which is being created at 1715, and hello has been created, is a recently created with the 1716. Okay, so hello is the latest object file, and both files are having the X permission. So got it? So what I am doing here, just I am changing here, I'm again adding one more printf statement. Suppose GB Softonic solution, and here /n control X Y. Just look at what I'm doing here. Okay, GCC minus O hello.c. Okay, now I am executing a.out. So can you tell me what is the output? Just type whatever you want, you are thinking that. If I'm doing ./a.out, what is the output? I'm giving here the content of the hello.c. Okay, this is the content of the hello.c. If I'm doing ./a.out. Okay, so tell me what is the output? Just type your output in your chat window. Only GB Softonic solution, or on first line hello world, second line from New Horizon College. Yeah, Akhil Kumar, yes, well tried. All three strings, yes. Nikita, yes, all three, yes. Devika, all three, yeah. The remaining also should try. Okay, if you are not trying, then you are not able to learn all the thing. Only hello world, Abhimanyu Kumar, Abhinay Kumar. Only hello world. Just let's see the output. Yeah, shocking. My content of hello.c is 3 printf statement, and if I'm doing ./a.out, it will give only hello world and from New Horizon College. So where is GB Softonic solution? So can anyone tell me the answer? Why GB Softonic solution is not get printed? Anyone tell me? Can anyone tell me why GB Softonic is not being printed?
Sir, it is saved in new object file, sir.
Yes, yes, yes. Your name, please?
Chandra Mohan, sir.
Yes, Chandra Mohan, your observation is very correct. Because if I am actually compile this, I have used this statement. Okay, I have used the statement as GCC minus O hello and hello.c. But when I'm running here, when I'm running, I'm using the old object file name ./a.out, and this is the common mistake that you are doing in your student phase. What you are doing, your object name is different and your running is different. Your running object file is different. So that's why now here, and if I'm trying to run here ./hello, then it will give the my correct output as a first line is hello world, second line is the from New Horizon College, third line is GB Softonic solution. Got it? So you can say here, by using this command GCC minus O, I can store the different versions of my output, different versions of the first version of the output. I'm giving the another object name, second version I'm giving the another object name, third version of another object name. Got it? And if you are Actually, suppose if I'm again modifying the hello.c, if I want to recompile it, I'm giving another file name, object file name. Or instead of this, suppose I'm using the same thing, gcc -o. What happened? The previous hello file is get deleted, and the new hello file, new object file is being replaced there. Got it? So if you are using the same file name, it will replace the new file. If you are using the another file name, along with the old file, you will get a new file itself. Got it? So everyone clear? Everyone clear? Yes? Okay. So this is the one technique that we are going to use. The second technique that we are going to use is this one. Let me share it. Yes. This is the actually IDE that we are going to use after 3 to 4 days. After 3 to 4 days only. The name of your IDE is the Sublime Text. The name is Sublime Text, S-U-B. Here I'm typing here, Sublime Text. This is available for this software is available for the Windows as well as the Linux as well as the Mac version. So you can download this Sublime Text if you get started. But here the background GCC is also needed. The GCC is always needed because this is only the editor, but obviously your program is submitted to the GCC, and then after that your program get run it here. Okay. So what you are doing here, I'm writing my program #include stdio.h, yes, .h, and then integer main, and then printf. You can see here, if I'm only typing here single quote, double quote, then automatically that ending double quote will be automatically being appear. So this is the actually beauty of your IDE. Hello world, and then return 0. Okay, so here I'm saving. Okay, I'm saving here. So I'm giving the name as hello.c. Yeah, it is already exist. Yes, I'm replacing it. Yes, hello.c already exists. So here I'm typing here, and then after that, let me share you full window first. Okay, so now you are able to see all the options. Now where you want to go here, you should go here tools, and then after that there is a build system is there. In a build system, if you want to run your C language program, then you should select your C single file. If you want to run your C++ program, you should select your C++. If you want to run your Java, you should use your Java. Then Python, for Python program, you should select your Python program. Okay, Python build system. So I'm using here C single file, and then after that I'm pressing enter here. When I'm pressing the enter, it get compiled, and whatever the output, it will again show here. So it is compile plus run. It is by default compile plus run. So again I'm trying to run. I'm added here /n after this hello world. Yes, hello world, and then /n, it will get executed. Got it? So this is the simplest way to program. So Sublime Text, when after the 3 or 4 days, actually, when you have the enough practice of Nano Editor, then we will move from Nano Editor to Sublime Text. Okay, so it will actually increase your programming concept, but only doing the programming is not important. Again, I want to tell you here, the concept is very, very important. So from tomorrow, actually, I will explain you what is the meaning of this hash, what is the meaning of the include, what is the meaning of this brackets, what is the meaning of this stdio, what is the meaning of this .h, what is the meaning of int, what is the meaning of main, this brackets, and then this brackets, and then return 0, and then semicolon. I have all the thing that I need to share with you, the basic thing you should know about the C language. Got it? So is it clear now? Is it clear? If you are clear, then just type super clear. Just I want everyone, those who have cleared all the today's lecture, super clear, just type super clear. Okay, so what is your task? Today's task is install the Linux operating system on your laptop or your computer, or if there is no provision to install, then just type, search the Google as a virtual box. Okay, just download the virtual box, install that virtual box, and in that virtual box, you need to install your Ubuntu operating system. Okay, so this is your task. Install the Ubuntu operating system, and whatever that we are doing here, that you need to do in your own system itself. Okay. We can use Turbo C, but Turbo C, if you are going for the placement drive, and if they ask the question like which compiler you have used for C language, and if you answer that Turbo C, then it will show that you are not a industry oriented, your learning is not a industry oriented. Turbo C is not being used in a industry. So no industry will prefer the Turbo C for learning the C language. GCC is always preferred. Or instead of this, okay, if you not having the provision to install Turbo C, but it is again some limited version of the GCC. Let me share you one. Okay, so you need to first go to the Google and just type there online C compiler. Online C compiler. And there is one site name of the online JDB. Just go there, online JDB, and now you can type your program here. You can type your program. So this is the program, and here the language. Here the language: C, C++, Java, C#, VB. On which language you want to do your program? So select the C language. Your one ready-made program is there, Hello program. Just try to run this. When you are trying to run this program, it first compile it, and after compilation, if your program is not having any error, then it will give the output hello world. Okay, so this is the thing that you can use if you're not able to install your Linux operating system. But I prefer the everyone should be in a same platform. Everyone should be in the same platform. So is it clear now? Yeah, Oracle VirtualBox. Yes, Oracle VirtualBox. Just type again. I will show you that VirtualBox. Just type download VirtualBox for Windows. Okay, whatever your operating system, just Oracle VM VirtualBox. And how to install the Ubuntu? You need to go to the YouTube. And just search there, install the Ubuntu in VirtualBox. Install Ubuntu in virtual box. Okay, just refer one of the video here. There are lots of videos are present. You can be able to, only 10 minutes we require. So just go for this video, and if you have any type of the error, then you can again search on the YouTube itself or the Google itself, and then you can resolve it here. Okay, so I prefer the 18 or 16 is also okay, Ubuntu 18. Just install Ubuntu 18 or 16. 16 is also okay, 16 LTS. LTS required the your less space. Okay, so is it now clear with you? Any doubt? If you have any doubt, or if you don't have any doubt, then just type I'm cleared, and we can stop the today's session. Okay. So the timing for C language and C++ language, actually I will give you in your WhatsApp group. The separate WhatsApp group, I think you have created. So the timing for C language and C++ I will give you, and the link is again the different one for joining C and C++. The link is again different, timing is also different. So meet you tomorrow. The timing will be decided by sir and me. So I think I should stop here. I should stop. Yes. Okay. So whatever the assignment is given for today's session, you need to clear, and then afterwards, actually, yeah, any doubts? Yeah, if you have any doubt, you can ask in WhatsApp group also. Yes. You can ask in WhatsApp group whatever your doubts, or you can post a snapshot of your screen. If you stuck at any point, you should share with me. I will resolve whenever I have the time. Okay. So thank you for listening. So today I will stop this recording.